Good evening. I haven't spoke to you guys in a while. I've been working on the house. We got drywall up, and the house is coming right along. But I want to continue to give you guys some value and hopefully help you guys with your finances. And I wanted to touch on today about taxes. I know there's some real vague stuff out there. There's stuff that people charge you an arm and a leg for. I'm gonna try to give you just some value and just some little tidbits that you guys can look into. You guys can find a tax advisor, and you can just be knowledgeable of this a little bit. You can ask them about it, and you can possibly save some on your taxes. Taxes for us, W-2 employees are the largest single expense. The government takes 40-ish% of our paycheck every pay period they take, and that's money that we see passing us by. Now, if you look at your paycheck as a whole, 80% of your paycheck just passes you by. You don't have a hand in it. You can't touch it. You basically, taxes takes about 40% of it. And then the next 40% is bills and is money that you don't, never use. And we survive on the 20% that's left, if it's 20% at all, depending on how much bills you have. But we can't do nothing about those bills. I mean, you can, but you gotta stay vigilant. You gotta understand your budget, and you can work on that other 40% and get rid of some bills. But one other thing you can do is to start writing off your taxes, learning how to claim deductibles and expenses, and just learning, because there's so much thing. Every single purchase you make can be tax deductible. Every single purchase you make. I mean, it's not that hard to understand, but if you understand the tax laws, every purchase, right? Just throw some numbers at you guys. The average person spends about 25 to 35% of their life working, just paying for taxes, right? So first 3 to 4 months of the year, if you look at your paycheck, that's just those months alone go straight to taxes, and then you get the rest of that to do whatever. If you break that down, it's about 2 hours every day, right? It's about 3 to 4 months every year. Like I said, it's about 13 years over the course of your work life, and about 20 years over the course of your life, including income tax and sales tax and estate tax and weight tax for your cars and property tax. Right? 20 years of your lifetime is spent working for taxes, straight up taxes. Now, the the best thing you can do to save on taxes, or to write some of that taxes and get some of those back, is to have a business, right? Is to have a home-based business, something really simple. It doesn't need to be nothing extravagant, doesn't need to be nothing super, it can be something that's simple, and easy to manage, and that I would advise you talk to a tax advisor and find out what is a good fit for you, business wise. At least there's lots of stuff you can do online, considered as a home-based business, that you can take advantage of a lot of tax incentives that a home-based business affords, right? The We, as I guess the middle class, poor class, we're trained to believe that we owe the government our money, right? That when we work, and we have to give them our money in taxes. That's just like, our thing. We say death and taxes. That's the two most things, but that's not true. Death, yes, and taxes, we try and pay the least amount as possible, right? The tax code, the tax laws are set up to reduce the tax burden. But us as the middle class look at taxes like, oh my God, I gotta pay taxes. Oh my God, But whereas the wealthy and the rich and the business owners, they look at tax as an incentive, right? Wealthy know the tax laws, or they have good CPAs that know the tax laws and are able to write off things for them. Like I said, every single purchase can be essentially written off as a expense, right? So the wealthy view tax laws as incentives. 95% of the tax code is meant to stimulate the economy and economic activity. Now, what that means is the government puts these incentives in place so that you spend your money doing certain things that in turn stimulates the economy and gets in, like, for instance, the government wants you to invest in like an energy production investment. If you invest in solar, or if you put PV on your home, or geothermal, or they will give you tax incentives. For instance, that's something we're all familiar with: photovoltaic on our home, right? If you get a electric car, they will give you a tax incentive. The government wants you to spend money on this. Agriculture. If you buy a piece of land that is an agriculture land, the government will give you some kind of tax exemptions along the lines of, whatever it is, property tax, or you actually growing stuff on your lot. You can get certain tax breaks there. Also, any kind of economic activity that provides housing and jobs for people, like business owners, or investment properties, or real popular investment properties like a apartment complex, right? The owners of the property get lots of tax incentives because they're providing homes for some people, and that in itself allows them to write off a lot of taxes as expenses. Not only that, but they also have other incentives such as depreciation, which basically means the government allows them to write off a little more for depreciation of the property, and these property owners can actually get back more, right? That's why the wealthy don't pay taxes, right? Because they own these large corporations. In those corporations, they pay income tax, they pay, you know, sales tax, they pay, all their employees pay their taxes. So they're providing that money to their employees, and their employees pay their taxes. So in essence, these wealthy people pay their taxes through their employees, through sale of their products. But for the business, and for some CEOs and some of the person themselves, they don't pay any taxes, because all of that is a complete write-off for them, right? That's stuff that we can do in our own lives, is be able to take that large corporations, what they're doing, and apply it to our life simply by starting a simple home-based business in whatever you like to do. If you like to make musubis, then make musubis and sell it at, like I took my daughters to sell it at Pop Warner football games, or at the fundraiser. We made musubis and juice. We went there, we sold it. Now, on your end, you might want to go get your GE license, apply for a sole proprietorship. Doesn't barely cost anything. It's not that hard at all. But what you can do is you can put you in position now to write off a lot of stuff that you can get back. Just imagine getting 20, 30% of your paycheck back, right? Instead of paying and living off of that 20% that I spoke of, imagine living off of 30 to 40%, right? You're basically doubling your income in some circumstances, right? What would that do for you and your family to have more money come back to you? Right? And it's simple. It's just all about setting up your taxes. It takes no more than a day or two to say, for instance, once you figure out what you want to do business-wise, to start a business, name it, apply for your GE license. When that comes in, now you get with a CPA or somebody, we all have friends that file taxes, or I would suggest getting a professional CPA, somebody that, if you have a friend that owns a business, you can ask them, hey, who does your taxes for you? You know what I mean? You mind if I speak to them or something? At that point, you become an entrepreneur. Entrepreneurs can lower their taxes with just basic knowledge, allowing them to make more money and pay 10 to 40% less in taxes, right? They can even eliminate their taxes down to zero if you apply for certain types of corporations, or if you structure your business entity a certain way, right? You do need a good tax advisor for that. Once you have your business, literally all travel that you do, if you travel with the intent of perpetuating your business and talking to somebody. You go someplace, you talk to somebody about your business in an attempt to make some money. You can now write off your gas, your mileage. If you meet somebody somewhere for lunch, you can write off, I think, half of that lunch, in taxes, and you can write that off right off the top. If your business is a home-based business and your family is involved in that business as well, you can now write off all of your family's travel expenses. Say if you guys are flying to Oahu, I live in Hilo. If I fly to Oahu with my family, right, and my wife is also an affiliate in the company that I'm associated with, Carrot Bars, and we take our kids up. Now we fly up, we're able to write off my wife's, and my two kids, because we're going up and we're going to speak to some people about saving in gold and about our business. And in doing so, we now turn that entire trip into a business trip. We can write off our airfare, our car, our hotel, some of our meals, and our airfare and back home. Right? It's insane. All of this is right there for you. This is something that we all can take advantage of with some simple, basic knowledge. You know, what I do is I download some audiobooks, and I work in Kona, I live in Hilo, so I got an hour and a half, and I literally turn my car into my university, and I listen to audiobooks all the way over and all the way back, and I've been learning so much. And I would really encourage you guys to start educating yourselves. Start taking initiative to learn about things that can benefit you directly, immediately, if you just gain that knowledge. Yeah. I mean, that's going to be it for now. I'll make another video shortly about different types of investments, or I'll be making a lot of videos. I just want to give you guys as much value as I can to hopefully help one person to better their financial lives for themselves and their family. And that's all I want to do. That's all I want to do. If you guys are interested in what I'm doing, we can talk about that. But if not, I just want to give you guys some value, give you guys some information in short little videos that now lights a fire in you, and maybe you can go and look some stuff up. You want book recommendations? Hit me up, message me, email me, call me, whatever. I can give some of that to you too. So yeah, with that, you guys have a wonderful rest of your night, and until next time, peace.